try to turn it around in their final game against Buffalo tonight at the Forum. But a loss and a Bruin victory here would wrap up second place for Boston. So this is a playoff game for the Boston Bruins. And now, the anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars show the perilous fight o'er the
Mary-Lou Basaraba with the national anthem. That means we're just about set to go here at the Colisée. Don Koharski, the referee for tonight's game. Wayne Bonney and Jerry Bateman will join him as the linesman. In the Bruin goal, Pat Riggin. He has been idle since last Thursday night. Bill Radford took over to play the last three games, but Riggo 3-1-4 in his last outing. And looking forward to blowing out the carbon and brushing off the dust off of his equipment after a brief rest. And what has become a Bruin killer in the Nordiques goal, Clint Malarchuk, who seems to save his best. With the black and gold, he has posted back-to-back shutouts against his club this season and has just played great hockey against Boston. Malarchuk in 5 games, a 1.53 goals against the Bruins. That, friends, that's some kind of goaltending. Bruins are going to have to try to get to Malarchuk early tonight if they can't throw him a little bit out of his game and take the play right to Quebec right off the bat. The Bruins, with some help from Buffalo last night, now control their own destiny in the fight for second place and home ice advantage in the opening round. Montreal playing at home tonight against Buffalo. Final game of the season for both clubs. Hartford at home tonight against Toronto. The Whalers need just a victory to wrap up a playoff spot. And they'll be at the Garden to finish up the regular season with the Bruins tomorrow night. Well, now there's a problem in behind the Bruin goal. The doors are open, and I'm not sure exactly what the problem is. Maybe they can't get the doors locked. That's what it is. Where the Zamboni comes on and goes off the ice, they can't get the doors to stay put. Just remember the night up at Buffalo when Jim Schoenfeld and Wayne Cashman went crashing into the doorway and ended up about 30 or 40 feet down the runway. And that got into it. There's Michel Bergeron, head coach of the Nordiques, giving that gum another good, healthy workout. That gum has to be the strongest gum in the league by now. Nightly workout, 80 times a season. A Butch Goring behind the Bruin bench. We're underway. Here's Fred.
Ray Bork with it. He's on the fence with Larson. Pass up is blocked. And Larson now clears it in. Malarchuk dropping it off. Waller up the center. Cutter off for Goulet. Bounces to the Boston line, and Bork there. Trying to get it back to Simmer, who couldn't handle it. Would have been offside. A long clear now forces Riggin to move it away from Goulet. For Bork to Crowder. Line change. Back and over the line. Lindsman bearing in. Tough angle. Drops it. And Goulet checks it. And Larson keeps it in. Wrapped around the boards. And the Nordiques work it out to Hunter at center ice. Flipped in wide as the lines change. Winding up, Larson, Ashton in pursuit. He gets it out to center ice, but Ashton makes a good defensive play. And back is Anton Stastny, Sauvé, in deep, Ashton, swirls, pass blocked, second pass, blocked by Larson. And finally, Mike Milbury in action after missing the game. Takes control, gets it up to center ice. Larson fires in. Behind the net, Nienhuis there to collect, drop it in front. It deflects to Anton Stastny, away to Ashton, coming on Blum. And good back checking by Nienhuis, got back in the play, and it took effect. But Anton Stastny into Sauvé, centering pass, deflects at the crease, covered by Riggin. And a face-off. This broadcast authorized by the Boston Bruins Hockey Club. Solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or the use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Boston Bruins or TV 38 is prohibited.
Keith Crowder equaling his personal high of 35 goals this season, doing a little skate work on the bench. Pat Riggin. First game since the big victory over L.A. last Thursday.
Gillis and Casper on the draw. Milbury to Blum. Up and out of the zone, and back is Mike Eagles. This would rate as a checking line for the Nordiques. A long clear. Cote in pursuit of Milbury. Milbury drops it off for Blum. Intercepted by Shaw. Moves in for a shot. Deflected wide by Riggin. And the Bruins start it back. Casper is ridden off by Gillis, though. And it's back for Eagles. To Gillis. A shot. A save by Riggin. Trying to clear it around the boards and out. The Bruins work it up. That's not out. Now Casper gets it out. And couldn't get it ahead to a man open, Courtnall. The Nordiques come back at center. Gillis clearing in. Going for it. Kluzak ahead of Ashton. And Blum starts it out. In the center ice. A lead pass for Burridge. Doesn't work. Bounces around, covered by Telvin. Telvin clearing in. The Bruins not getting shots on Malarchuk, but we're just underway, nearing the 3-minute mark. And out comes Anton Stastny. Ashton, Anton, shot deflected high by Kluzak into the stands. And Burridge jamming with Sauvé. That's an even tussle. Same size there. A few more pounds maybe on Burridge.
Yeah, the dude going against J.F. Sauvé. Two of the shorter players on the ice, but I think you'd have to give the edge to Randy with the body weight. Sauvé out skating a regular shift. which hasn't happened much
he's
in the last few weeks.
He's playing for Peter.
And he's primarily on the power play. He's got 55 points this season. 49 of them have come directly from the power play.
The Nordiques missing Rochefort. I believe he's out for the season.
Yeah.
And Picard, two of certainly their best defensemen.
They'll get Picard back in a few weeks. He has a shoulder separation, but they expect him back during the first round of the playoffs or possibly into the second.
The Boston line is Peterson with Basine and Burridge. The face-off out to the right of Riggin. One shot listed for the Nordiques by David Shaw. And he had a pretty good bid. No shots on Malarchuk by Boston. Burridge and Ashton. Pass knocked down by Kluzak. Fired by Jeff Brown, a rookie defenseman. Basine trying to come out. He's hemmed in. Kelvin tries the other side. Burridge to Kluzak on the gallop. The pass is blocked by Anton Stastny. And Brown starts it back. Deflects it into the Boston end. Riggin out. Trying to sweep it away. Ashton checking. Battling Kelvin. Kelvin for Basine. Basine failed to clear it. And Anton Stastny winds up alone in front with a shot on a save by Riggin. And Ashton put another one on him. As the Bruins fail to clear it, here's a break. Basine, one man to beat. Trying to go wide, gets the shot away. Made a good move and a save by Malarchuk. A good move by Basine, but he failed to clear and the Bruins had deep trouble. Back comes Reed with Foster. A shot and a save by Malarchuk. Looking sharp in those two, particularly the second one. Patrick is hit in deep by Jay Miller. Foster battling in the corner, wrapped up by Mahler. Bruins work at free. Around the boards, Goulet starts it out. For Patrick. Patrick, check, cuts in front, shoots and misses. Riggin cut down the angle on him as Patrick made an excellent move to get that away. And now, right in front, Goulet. Shot is blocked. Goulet keeps it in. Foster, a heavy hit. The puck is kicked in front and Patrick missed it. A second shot by Goulet knocked away. Price keeps it in. And now, whistle, they say he failed to keep it in. And heavy pressure by the Nordiques. With the score of Boston nothing, Quebec nothing. Bruins hockey will continue in a moment.
Dave Basine failed to clear it and almost resulted in an Anton Stastny goal. But Pat Riggin came up big with Stastny all alone out in front.
And the pressure has been by the Nordiques. 4 shots for them, 2 for Boston. And that one by Anton really labeled. And Eagles keeps it in again. In deep to Cote. Cote allowed to wheel and shoot. And a save. Nienhuis. Courtnall. They work it out. And racing for it is Casper, hauled down by Eagles. No call. Fought for behind the net. Nienhuis throwing his weight around on Anderson. Gets it. Gets a play off to Courtnall. Courtnall couldn't set up Casper. Gillis intercepts. Gets away from Courtnall into the corner to Eagles. Behind the net, Milbury takes over. Center ice, beautiful pass to Casper. And his lead to Courtnall is too far. Icing on the play, as getting back for the Nordiques, was Risto Siltanen, acquired in that trade with Hartford for Anderson.
Jeff Courtnall, 20 goals on the season. Article written in the Toronto Star this morning. Talked about not only the battle for playoff positioning, but the battle for the scoring title in the Courtnall house. Russ Courtnall, Jeff's brother, in the other night, playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs, has 22 goals. Jeff has 20. And Jeff said, boy, if I could catch him, that would mean good things for the team, because I know I'd be scoring quite a few goals in 2 important games.
The intensity and the pressure goes to Hartford. The shots indicate goes to Quebec. 5-2. They've outshot the Bruins. Had them back on their heels a bit. And the Bruins need to crank it up in this vitally important game for them, not so important for Quebec. Mahler clears it in. And Riggin. Crowder to Bork. Bork breaks. Right wing with Lindsman and Simmer. Cuts in the center. Over the line. Still going. Taps it in as he's hit by Mahler. but Price has it. Around the boards, a battle. Bork keeps it in. Price pursued by Crowder, broken up. Crowder trying to center it, and Charlie Simmer did, but Patrick is back. And Quebec really checking back. Playing both ends very well. Bork breaks it up. Pass free. Centering pass. Larson intercepts. Hunter tried to set up Goulet. Big play by Larson in front. Puck is kept in now by Hunter. Broken up by Bork. He's spilled. Penalty. Hunter. Power play Boston. Delayed call. Simmer moving. And pokes it in deep. Finally Brown touching it. And the first power play for hooking. Hunter is out with the score. Boston nothing, Quebec nothing. Let's pause for this message.
Dale Hunter out for hooking at 6:38. Right there, he puts the stick on the right side of Raymond Bork and brings down the Bruin co-captain. So the Bees get the first power play of the night in a scoreless hockey game. 13:32 remaining, first period.
And the draw to Mahler. Trying to clear it out, but Telvin moves in deep, has it. Behind the net to Reed. Reed is checked, broken up. Puck not cleared. Larson kept it in, now can't handle it. And Basine goes center ice. Dave Basine, right wing on the power play with Burridge at center and Reed at left wing. 7 minutes played, no scoring. And to get it, Burridge trying to poke it in front, can't. Basine has it. Weaving, broken up. And Dave lost it to Gillis. Boy, he had a beautiful chance to put on his in-traffic stick handling, but didn't make it pay off. Larson in the center ice to Telvin. Off for Burridge. Burridge lost the handle, or never really had it. And Larson regroups. Telvin and Larson playing the points around the boards. Larson wraps it in right wing side. Crowder going for it. Kept in by Peterson, who just came on. Blocked by Crowder. Shaw, now a kick pass to Burridge. Burridge trying to put it in front, can't. Bruins keep it in. Crowder in the corner, trying to get away and make a pass in deep. Peterson moves in for it. Power play Boston. Back for Linsman. Larson. Nice shift off for Peterson. Peterson holding, wheeling. Pass in for Simmer. 30 seconds left. He gets it back for Larson. A shot, a beautiful pad save by Malarchuk. That was it. 35 feet. And Malarchuk made a beauty. That was the only shot on the power play. 20 seconds left. Linsman out. Now to Bork, but he has to chase it and regroup the team. Gets it for Crowder. Crowder clears it in. Around the board, kept in by Peterson. Big play for Linsman, for Crowder. Crowder holding, closing, in shot, front of shot, and it's wrapped by Simmer, and Malarchuk made the stop. Oh, magnificent, in tight. And the applause for Clint Malarchuk. Icing against Quebec, and the Bruins had two good chances. That last one a beauty.
Boy, they had a great opportunity. Keith Crowder, stick handling off the left wing, almost put it home.
From the Colisée, the score, Boston nothing, Quebec nothing.
Keith Crowder, lower right of your screen, moves in, has his shot partially blocked. Linsman and Simmer can't get the handle on it. Malarchuk shutting down the short side on Simmer.
John Blum misses the pass at the right point, has to go center ice. Teams are at full strength, no score. Blum passes up, and it bounces away. Anderson trying to control it. Bruins. Casper moves it in near Malarchuk. Malarchuk around the boards. And out comes Sauvé. Broken up. Nienhuis getting back quickly. And here comes Anton over the line. With Kumpel and with Anderson. But the pass intercepted by Mike Milbury. And a good lead for Nienhuis. Breaking right wing. Coming hard. Going deep. Trying to move it in front. The shot and a score by Casper. Great rush by Nienhuis. And he set up Casper in tight to make it 1-0 Boston.
Well, Jeff Courtnall hurt on the play, but what a beautiful rush by Nienhuis. Great outlet pass. Took it in stride, made the shift, and set up Casper. Here's Nienhuis. Great move here around Siltanen. Gets in deep, and now look at this one-handed pass, and Casper finishes it off. Good play by Stevie. Excellent rush, though, by Nienhuis. Look at him use his size and weight on Chiltonen. And then the one-handed pass, and Casper hits it on the fly. Courtnall got tangled up in the slot with Kumpel. I don't know if he hit the post or not, Fred, but he came away doubled over and is being looked at now behind the Bruin bench.
Craig Nienhuis getting the opportunity with Marquardt injured, taking a regular shift, playing well, using his size, his weight. He's hitting and rushing. And 1-0 Boston. Goulet wraps it in. Patrick, acquired from the Rangers, keeps it in for Goulet. They're wheeling and dealing in the Boston zone. Telvin trying to move it out. He's checked. They're yelling at Kluzak, possible penalty, and it is Dale Hunter coming out of the corner, spilled, and the penalty is coming up. They still keep the play going. Patrick with it. Delayed call. Back for Brown. Now for Patrick. Now the call. And the Bruins are going to be short-handed. You're watching Bruins hockey from the Colisée in Quebec.
Now Barry Peterson has been called for tripping Dale Hunter right there. He dropped him. Zaharski on the play. So at 10-19, Peterson is off, and the Nordiques get a try on the power play. Bruins lead it on Steve Kasper's first goal in 15 games, his 17th of the season from Nienhuis and Milbury.
Nice rush by Larson. Gets a long shot on Malarchuk as the Bruins got him the face-off. Foster is on with Casper, Bork, and Larson. The first power play for the Nordiques. 9:27 left first period. 1-0 Boston. This is Chiltonen. They like him with that big shot on the power play. Hunter keeps it in, but can't set up the play. The pass went behind a breaking Goulet, and Bork carries it out. Kills time. Open man, Casper. Back for Foster. Foster coming in. Shot, save. Malarchuk. Short-handed bid by Casper. By Foster. Beautiful move. Chiltonen back. Broken up by Ray Bork. 1:15 left on the Nordique power play. Anderson now playing the left point. Wraps it in. The Bruins in front 1-0. Bork in deep. Checked by Ashton. And Lindsman back to cover and clear. So Anderson starts. This is Peter Anderson, defenseman. Away to Sauvé. Broken up by Lindsman. Shaw tries the other side. The clear in. Backward Plum. He's broken up. Sauvé for Ashton. Hit by Milbury. Back on the boards. Kept in. Milbury can't get it. Anton for Sauvé. He's hit behind the net. Milbury clears it up the boards, and Burridge sweeps it out. 24 seconds for that power play. First period. Hartford leads Toronto 1-0. They wanted to post that score quickly. And here's Anton Stastny's shot, and he missed. And the long rebound goes to center ice. Back comes Ashton. Ashton is shot. Blocked by Blum. Into the stands. And it hit a sign that said Michel Goulet, I think, and shattered some glass on a break in the action. Let's pause for station identification.
This is TV 38, WSBK-TV, Boston.
Well, I don't know what it used to say. It says, "'Tis Michel Goulet." Obviously, magnetic letters on that board over the door, and Brett Ashton's shot went up and knocked a good majority of the message off. Hartford is on top of Toronto with John Anderson scoring for the Whalers. Just a minute and a half into the game from Kevin Dineen. Don't think the Whalers don't want to end things tonight. A win for them, and they're in.
The draw to Telvin, and the clear-up goes into the stands. A couple of great Bruin fans on hand again for the Quebec trip. They come to Montreal or Quebec. Stan Regan and Jack Stapleton, Lincoln Mercury dealers in Wellesley. I know their best customer is Johnny Pearson. Johnny's going to be on between periods. Here's Casper to Foster in a bid. Beautiful move.
Great move around Anderson. Good shift. He picked the rookie's pocket and moved right around him for a good setup.
The draw, Boston back at full strength. Selvin, Kluzak for Courtnall. To Kluzak. Ahead for Casper. A good break. Off on the right for Nienhuis. A shot, a save, Malarchuk. 2-1 that one. And Kasper trying to get at the rebound. There's no rebound by Malarchuk. And a face-off in the Nordique zone.
Well, a pair of 11s tied up together, but it was Randy Mahler that gave Kasper the shot right after Malarchuk took down this shot. A 2-on-1 with Nienhuis. Craig, wrist shot. Tried to go short side. There's Malarchuk. Kasper looking for the rebound. There was none. Malarchuk played outstanding hockey against the Boston Bruins. He had Boston out to a 1-0 lead on Kasper's 17th of the year.
And Boston now has outshot the Nordiques 8-5. The Nordiques did not get a shot on Riggin in their first power play chance. Nordiques control the faceoff. Pat Price, who is the captain for tonight. Cote, Eagles in the Boston zone. Plusieurs. Out for Telvin. Up the center ice block. Cleared back in by Mahler. Could be icing. They wave it off. And Telvin clears it out. Siltanen wrapping it back. Intercepted by Telvin. Trying to move and he's checked. Nienhuis covers. On the puck, Anderson though. And now it's wrapped in by Eagles. Bruins wind up. Lindsman coming back. Center ice. Clearing in wide of Malarchuk. 6:38 left in the first period. 1-0 Boston. Kasper the goal. Goulet forces Riggin to play it. And it's wrapped right out by Bork. Patrick is spilled. Bruins break. Can't set up. Crowder couldn't set up Simmer. Siltanen out there. Quebec wants the goal, and Nienhuis really whipped Siltanen on a rush down the right wing side to set up the Boston score. Siltanen, though, offensively with that great shot, can really steam it. His long pass broken up by Bork. Crowder, Simmer over the line. He's checked along the line, keeps it in, and his pass intended for Lindsman, intercepted. Out comes Goulet. Goulet, deep on Larson. Hauled away by Larson, who simply took it away. But he's broken up by Patrick. Patrick for Sauvé, broken up by Bork, and the Bruins start it back. Beautiful job there. Larson on that one. Crowder trying to set a play. Can't move it in. Ashton starts it back with Sauvé. Flipped in the Boston zone. Plusieurs ahead of Ashton. Gets it out. Crowder can't set up Lindsman. Bruins break it up at center ice. Crowder, good defensive play. To Burridge, just on. Burridge going deep. Can't cut in on Shaw. Fights for it behind the net. Hit by Brown. They battle. They're both out of junior hockey. Anton Stastny can't move it out. Bruins keep it in. It bounces for Shaw. Broken up by Peterson at center ice. Back for Burridge. Burridge for Telvin. A shot deflected wide. Kept in by Burridge. It's bouncing for the Bruins. He can't set up Facine. On the other side, Peterson clears it in deep. Facine in front. Knocked away by Malarchuk. Peterson is on it. He fell. Facine fell. Anton Stastny works it out. And a long shot, but great pressure by Boston. And it's been a long stretch since Riggin has looked at a shot on net by the Nordiques, who early were carrying the play. 4:20 left, first period, 1-0 Boston. Price trying to go it alone. Boston, but Eagles keeps it in. Checked by Kasper. Now Milbury winding up. Bruins playing very effective defense. Very, very effective. Good forechecking. Waller winding up. Up the center, connects. Gillis breaks away. Over the line for Cote. Cote in front. The Bruins check it. That was Lum who broke it up, and the Bruins work it out. Portnoy can't make the play, and Cote winds up. 1-0 cap for the score. Cote trying to go through the defense, and Milbury takes it away. And leads Kasper. Good break here. Shot. Oh, just high. And missed the net. And not by much. Portnoy trying to keep it in. Hunter checked by Lindsman, who just came on. Lindsman passes to an open wing, though, and Anderson is back. The clear in, wide of Regan. Regan around the boards for Bork. To Lindsman. On the wing, hits Crowder beautifully. Crowder for Simmer. Simmer couldn't set up Lindsman. Just missed. There's that broken right in. But Quebec the other way. And they keep it in. Hunter. In deep. Moving well. A pass in front. Knocked across by Cote. Now behind the net.
Been doing that. And it's Lindsman to Simmer. That play stopped at the Quebec line. 1-0 Boston. 2:42 left in the first period. Crowder back. Van yelled for a tripping call against Boston. That Lindsman clears it in all the way to Malarchuk. Sturridge moving in well. Beautiful defensive work by the Bruins. Here comes Sauvé. A long shot in, knocked away by Regan. Kept in by Anton Stastny, deflected by Kluzak into the stands. And first period action will continue round the Colisée in just a moment. Now, just one example of how the Bruins tonight are playing the man very, very well. Reed Larson takes Michel Goulet right off the play. Mahler trickles one in, and Regan has to move on that one. And a kick pass by Barry Peterson. That's the second he's made tonight. And he got it out of the zone. This is what the Bruins want with the 1-0 lead. They're not back on their heels. They're just defending well. And this one bounces into the Bruins bench and a face-off called. 2 minutes left.
Well, a new record crowd tonight at the Colisée to watch this one. 15,390 on hand. Bruins remain the #1 draw on the road in the National Hockey League. Still carrying that big, bad Bruin image. Of course, there are a lot on hand. Remember the last time we were here, folks? They were filming a movie at the time. Well, they haven't finished. Tonight's the exciting conclusion to a 13-part series that we'll be listening to between periods, I'm sure.
Bruins get the face-off clear. Under 2 minutes left. Anderson passing up. Footnall checking, but the pass is cleared away, and Milbury breaks it up. The forwards really working, and that helps the defense, who have made key plays. Forwards forecheck deeply, but Eagles works it out, and Siltanen on the move, and that hard shot, but Regan made it look like a soft pop fly. Just handle it easily. It missed the net, and Milbury works it away. Off for John Blum. Blum to Casper. He took a wicked hit from Gillis. Was flattened. Oh, blindsided. And back comes Siltanen. And he's offside at the line. Steve Casper wrapped by Gillis. And we're in the first period with the score. Boston 1 and Quebec nothing. Bruins work it out after the face-off. We're down to 1:07. A good hit by Crowder on the boards. Now the puck is cleared in by Goulet. Taken by Bork. Bork clears it out. Down to 52 seconds. Just superb all-around defensive work by the Boston Bruins. Not back on their heels, but checking well, and the forwards coming back mightily. Price trying to wind up. Puck bounces for Goulet, and he's broken up by Bork, but it bounces in deep. Going for it, Larson. Larson hits the open man, and Bork is hit and down. I didn't see what happened. Oh, it's Hunter. Of course it's Hunter. What more would he want than to get Bork out of the game and maybe out of the playoffs? Don't know what happened. Hunter. The Bruins start moving on Hunter, the high-stick man of the National Hockey League.
Fred, I didn't see it. It was away from the play, which is normally the way Dale Hunter operates. Everybody's attention focused elsewhere, and Hunter will try to slip in a little jab or a poke, and Ray Bork is still down and being 10-2. Jim Narrigan out to take a look under the shield. Well, I certainly can't tell. Maybe it was just the wind knocked out of him. He could have gotten a butt end in the stomach, knocked the wind out of him. Appears to be all right. He's ready to get up now.
Where's the penalty?
Well, being away from the play, I can tell you right now, Don Koharski is going to say I didn't see it.
Where are the linesmen? I mean, he didn't go down just because a breeze went by.
Well, we may get a look at it now. Keep an eye on the left of your screen, right there. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
he swung the stick. Now, we didn't say exactly where he hit, but obviously it was up near the head.
They would love nothing more in this game than to take Ray Bork out of there, or a Bruin, and Hunter would be the man. And no penalty called. 30 seconds left in the period. Hartford leads Toronto 2-0. If Hartford wins, that's it. And Montreal 1-0 in front of Buffalo. So the Bruins are interested in that one. And Burridge comes back. Tries to move it in front. Foster going for it. Pokes it away. Can't center it, though. Battles to keep it in. 15 seconds left. The Bruins have done this well. Forechecking. Battling in the corner. Burridge, Foster. They wrap it up and get a face-off with 11 seconds left. And the face-off to the right of Malarchuk.
Anderson and McDermott, the goal scorers in the Hartford-Toronto game. Whalers up 2-0. And Fred just mentioned Montreal out to a 1-0 lead. Chris Nyland has the goal for Montreal. Sean McDonough will have an update for you on all of tonight's games coming up during intermission. Just 11 seconds away.
Yeah, we mentioned Stan Regan and Jack Stapleton on hand, the intrepid automobile dealers, but the Martins of Medford also here. And tomorrow night before the game, Brian Ferreira of Falmouth, honored by the Bruins the John Carlton Award. Harry Sinden will make the presentation. Outstanding scholar athlete. Shot by Bork. Save Malarchuk. 8 seconds left. Might have been a little wide, but Malarchuk had to move quickly on that one as the Bruins got the draw. Peterson back to Bork.
Boy, Raymond let go with one of his patented drives. Malarchuk, partially screened by his own teammate, came up with a great glove save. That may have gone wide. This angle will tell a little bit better. Boy, that was going to be awful close, but I think you're right, Fred. I think it may have been wide.
Brian Ferreira finished top 15% of his class. Outstanding hockey player and athlete. Quebec with it at 3 seconds left, so they have to go for a long shot by Muller that's wide. And that is it in a very fine first period for Boston. And they outshot the Nordiques 10-8. Stay tuned. First intermission. Mini 1-on-1 Pee Wee Championship between Edgewood and Danvers. Then we'll see the trophy presentation to the winners. John Pearson will review first period highlights. After the first period, the score. Boston 1 and Quebec 0. Work it out. Mahler. Long shot. Routine for Riggin and rebound Bork. As the Bruins get back quickly on the play, leading 1-0. We're just underway in the second period. Patrick clears it in the Boston end. Bork back. The line's changing. Bork cannot connect with Simmer. And back for it, Anderson. Peter Anderson for the Nordiques. And Ashton on the move. Ashton over the line, broken up by Michael Telvin. They fight for it in deep. Sauvé centers it, but he put it right on the stick of Kluzak, who made a beautiful pass out to Facine, who sends Burridge over the line, but he can't control it, and Silterman knocks it away. Telvin has to start again. The pass up. Sauvé stops. Over the line, broken up by Telvin. Peter Anderson for the Nordiques, for Ashton. Clears it in. Riggin wraps it right up for Telvin. A quick clear out missed by Facine. And backward goes Brown, a rookie on defense. Down to center ice, but it's not controlled by Anton Stastny. Now he picks up a loose puck. Winding up in that European style, off to Shaw. Shaw clears in, but Blum controls. Nobody on him yet. Ooh, Gillis is, and Blum was ready, and he sent Gillis spinning. Oh, Gillis caught it there. He was coming after Blum, and he was helmeted
by Blum. Cote breaks. Off for Gillis, coming on Blum this time. And he's broken up by Blum again. And back comes Courtnall. A good break to Casper over the line. Courtnall hauled down. Interference and no call there. And back comes the man who interfered, Steinberg. And he... And he missed the net. The rebound in front. Cote wraps it in front, misses, and hands it away to Casper. Oh, the puck rolled nicely for Boston after that outstanding stop. Here comes Nienhuis from Casper. In for Courtnall, and a save by Malarchuk. The Bruins moved it beautifully, and Courtnall could not make it pay off. Malarchuk robbed him. Riggin clears it up. Center ice, Lindsman. And sent Courtnall away, can't, and Patrick wraps it back in. Larson knocks it right out. 1-0 Boston. What a stop on Steinberg. A rookie, #1 draft pick. Simmer knocks down a man, but the Husky let one go against Quebec. And here's the Bruins. Simmer over the line. Off for Lindsman. Lindsman. Check. Gets it. Back for Larson. Shot. Save. Loose. Trickles wide. Simmer on Anderson. And it's around the boards and controlled by Silterman. Sends a 3-on-2. Hunter to Goulet. Goulet wraps it in front, and Patrick can't get it. And back comes Simmer. Simmer, check. Bork clears it in. Nordiques pass to Goulet from Hunter. From Silterman is offside. With the score of Boston 1, Quebec 0, Bruins hockey will continue in a moment.
Cote and Steinberg on the slot, but Steinberg has a powerful shot. Justin Riggin with it.
Riggin ties it up as Eagles started to move in. The only goal, Casper, from Nienhuis and Milbury, 9:34 in the first period. Boston out shooting Quebec 10-8 in that first period. Montreal leads Buffalo 2-1. The Sabres refuse to give up. But if Hartford wins, and they're winning, they're beating Toronto 2-0, that one is all over. Pittsburgh leads Philadelphia 2-0. Here it's 1-0 Boston. If the Bruins can win their final 2 games, they will wind up in second place and start the playoffs against Montreal at the Garden on Wednesday night. Fourth line out by Bergeron. Well, he's using Mark Kumpel out of the University of Lowell from Wakefield at right wing. I believe it's his first appearance. The scene in Ashton. Brought a Nordiques. Shaw into Ashton. Check. Wheels for shot. Wide. Riggin up the boards for Kelvin. Stolen by Ashton. Cuts right in. Broken up by Kluzak. They fight for it in the corner. Kicked around the boards. It goes to Burridge. Away to Peterson. Breaks with the scene. A trailer. Telvin over the line. Peterson. But Telvin, he couldn't put the wrap on it as he cut toward the net. Burridge in deep fights for it. Wrapped up by Kumpel. Shaw gets it away to Eagles. Eagles gets it out into center ice for Brown. A shot. Elbow save by Riggin, and he had a move on that one. That might have been on the corner to his left, and it's a face-off. And with the score of Boston 1, Quebec 0, let's pause for this message. Gillis on the draw with Casper to the right of Riggin. Casper with the Boston goal, the only score of the game. Bork is right out with it. Foster coming with him. Nienhuis goes for the long shot. Oh, he beat Malarchuk, and it hit the side of the net. A drive from the left point on the deflection by Bork is stopped by Malarchuk. And that could have been in as Bork wheeled it and had plenty of steam. Foster intercepted. Back to cover, though, on Steinberg, and the Bruins clear it out. Miller trying to break Kent. A clear in by Mahler. Bork, wasting no time, gets it right out. A fourth line on for Boston. Foster, Reed, and Miller. Miller at right wing. At center ice, Larson breaks it up for Foster. Over the line with Reed. Holding, puts it for Larson. Larson tees it up, misses, in front, and the Bruins can't get the shot. Miller gets it in the corner. Miller wheeling in the zone. All the way across for Bork. Interference call on the Bruins. It's got to be. The Bruins were handling it. It's on Dwight Foster. Costly as a beautiful pass from Jay Miller was setting up Bork for a shot.
Well, maybe it was the interference, Fred, that enabled Bork to slide through there and get the pass from Jay Miller. But, oh, what a beautiful pass. Right there is where they're calling the interference. Foster backed into the Nordique player. And for the stuff that he's been letting go, I am surprised, very surprised, that Don Koharski would call that particular penalty. He has let some holding, some hooking, slashing, and tripping go. And there Foster backs into a player he calls interference as the Bruins. Jay Miller has set up Ray Bork for a point-blank shot. I don't know.
And the Bruins are missing a key penalty killer, and Hunter rushes now on Milbury. Keeps it in. Pass stopped by Peterson and cleared away. Peterson and Burridge penalty killers for Butch Goring, with Milbury and Blum on the fence. The second power play for the Nordiques. In their first one, here's Siltanen rushing. Plays the point with that hard shot acquired from Hartford. Gets it over the line. Holding in the corner. Back to Anderson. Up to Siltanen. Quickly in. Shot. Goulet. Beautiful stop, Riggin. Boys made one earlier in Steinberg in this period, and Goulet alone in front. 20 feet off. Little angle on it. And Riggin was ready for Goulet. Siltanen's pass broken up. Bruins knock it to center ice. Linsman with it. Siltanen gets it again for Goulet. Slipped in deep. Blum and Sauvé go for it. Goulet with it. Popped in the air, and Riggin not only playing with some key stops as we have a jam with Casper holding off the Montreal player, but he is operating with a casualness that really shows, hey, I'm in charge here. No big flurry, no big hassle. And he just picked that one off very quietly and stopped the action. And a penalty coming up.
Boy, good stop, Pat Riggin on Michel Goulet. Well, Rigo's come to play tonight. John Blum and J.F. Sauvé will get matching penalties. They'll be roughing each. Penalties coming at 6:36. Sauvé and Blum matching penalties at 6:36. Well, really, you get a guy who's good on the power play off, so that's not a bad trade, Blum for Sauvé. Sauvé has the ability to scoot around that net, make himself bigger than his actual 5'6" stature would indicate. Here's Reed Larson. Had a nice play on Goulet earlier in this game.
Eagles on the draw. Peterson wins it. Bork wraps it around and not out. Burridge can't deflect it out. Kept in. Anton Stastny, right corner. Back to the point. Brown a shot. Blocked wide by Larson. Kept in by Eagles. Spilled by Peterson. In the corner, fought for. Larson trying to tie it up. Eagles gets it. Off for Anton. Anton, a shot here by Siltanen, missed the net. And Siltanen was no more than 35 feet away, set up by Anton Stastny. And he missed the net. 29 seconds left on the second Quebec power play. 1-0 Boston. Casper, the score in the first period.
Fred, he may have hit the post on this. I'm not sure. They're bringing the face-off outside the blue line. Goulet standing there. Riggin threw the right skate out of it. It all happened so fast, too hard to tell, but they brought the face-off outside the line, so apparently Riggin didn't get a piece of it.
Larson gets it away to Bork. The Bruins controlling on the face-off. Bork clears it. Brown and Siltanen play the points. Peter Stastny out with tonsillitis. Hunter tipped it down. It's icing. Back is Larson. And 11 seconds left. The face-off in the Nordique zone. 12:40 left in the second period. Boston leads 1-0 on the Casper goal. Montreal 2-1 over Buffalo. Hartford 2, Toronto 0. In, I believe, the second period of that game. If Hartford wins, that's it for Buffalo, no matter what they do against Montreal. But Buffalo can help Boston, of course, with a victory again.
Pittsburgh leading Philadelphia 2-0. That's a big game for the Penguins because the Rangers are playing in Washington tonight. If Washington wins and the Penguins win, Pittsburgh would be 1 point behind the Rangers, with the two teams playing at Madison Square tomorrow night. Winner take all.
And it's a big one for Philadelphia. They need Washington tomorrow, and they are tied. Schedule maker did a great job.
Yeah, that of the teams did following the script.
And they all laugh at the playoffs. Wow. Been going on for years in this game. Foster out of the box, and he hits Gillis to break him up. Bruins kill off a second penalty very effectively. The big chance was Goulet alone in front. Shot wide of Regan. Rebound, Telvin wastes no time clearing it out. Linsman line out there now. And at center ice, Steinberg, a rookie. Trevor Steinberg clears it in. Regan able to tap it up to Crowder. Crowder has trouble, gets it away to Linsman. A bouncing puck, but he has it. Off for Simmer. In a lead for Crowder. Crowder in deep on Price. Checked. Fought for. Crowder goes down. Takes Steinberg with him. And a face-off called to the left of Malarchuk. From the Colisée, the score. The Bruins won. The Nordiques nothing. Linsman on the draw with Hunter. Hunter has 263 minutes in penalties. And he did not get one for waving his stick at Bork, touching him high in the chest. Goulet breaks it out. A lead for Patrick. Followed up by Goulet. Goulet in deep, centering it. Blocked. Kept in. Shot. Save! A big stop on Goulet by Regan. Oh, what a save. And the puck is cleared. That is 3 big ones by Regan in this period. 2 on Goulet. Here's Goulet getting over the line again. Pass blocked. And cleared away. A big defensive play by Reed Larson as he covered that one. Bruins steal. Simmer over the line for Nienhaus. Pass in front. Blocked. Bruins keep it in. Nienhaus, a long shot. A save Malarchuk. And Hunter winds up. Bruins, of course, not just sitting back protecting the 1-0 lead, but extra cautious on plays. Ashton trying to move in, and Anton Stastny way offside. We're almost halfway through the game. Well, 10:47 left. Second period, 1-0 Boston.
Well, the Bruins have been doing a fine job tonight of checking and getting back and tying up the Nordiques as they come into the zone. But this is one time where Goulet got loose for one right out in front. Look at this, point blank, and Regan right up to the task to take care of the shot by Goulet. He stopped Anton Stastny earlier. Steinberg playing himself quite a game. Pat Regan.
The shots are 15 Boston, 14 for the Nordiques. John Blum trying to come out. Up for Nienhaus. To Courtnall. Off for Casper with Milbury heading for the net. Milbury moving in. Dropped it in front, and Ashton was there ahead of Courtnall. Nice play by Milbury. Had the idea. Kept in by Nienhaus. Looking for Courtnall. Casper goes deep. Hit by Mahler. Bruins press hard. Still battling to keep it in. Nienhaus can't get it. And Ashton works it out. Back comes Eagles over the line. Checked by Nienhaus. Deflected it in. A save by Regan. A shot by Shaw. Saved short side by Regan. On the puck into the corner. Milbury is hit by Anton Stastny. The Nordiques keep it in. Eagles to Ashton. Behind the net. Off in the corner. Ashton. Wheels it to the other side. Anton Stastny there first. Intercepted by Courtnall. And the Bruins clear it out. And break. Courtnall with Milbury again. And Courtnall lost it to Shaw. Shaw breaks. Telvin trying to get back. 2-on-1. The shot, the save. Ashton, the follow-up. The shot blocked by Regan. On Ashton on the rebound. Fantastic goaltending there. Ashton had the whole net practically. Here's Peterson over the line. Going deep. Cutting in. Going behind the net. Holding. Gives it to Facine. A shot, a save. And the rebound is Ashton. And Facine is filled. And back comes Shaw. Long shot. Oh, Regan has come up with some grand stops here in the second period. Telvin up the center, can't connect with Peterson. None better than Ashton, on Ashton, who had that rebound on the breakout. Gillis' shot blocked. Facine very careless defending there, and he let Gillis handle that, and they had a threat going. And everybody's going to work. Anderson keeps it in. Riggin out of the net. Able to tie it up. Pat Riggin, the story for Boston here in this stretch in the second period.
Well, it's just about over. They're early in the second period in Hartford. 4-0 now, the Whalers. Dave Babbage and Wayne Babbage have both scored, along with Anderson and McDermott, so the Whalers well on their way to wrapping up their first playoff spot since 1980. 2-1. Montreal leading Buffalo. Here's David Shaw with a hard drive. Kicked out by Riggin. And Brent Ashton, look at this. Riggin goes down and gets a piece of it with the left arm, and it just goes wide. The Nordiques have been buzzing around the Boston zone, and Riggin is the story here in period number 2. The lone scorer, Steve Casper, in the first period.
And 9 shots by the Nordiques. At least 5 of them labeled. 2 by Goulet. Here's one. A shot by Goulet and a save by Riggin. It breaks wide, and Bork has it up the center. And a breakaway. Lindsman going hard away from Anderson. In the shot by Malarchuk. Save in front. It is for Zimmer. He can't get it from Crowder. They were in too deep as Malarchuk made a big stop. Breaking now, right wing side. It is Temple over the line. Looks for a trailer and gets it to him. Anderson, whose shot is blocked by Bork. Puck kept in, bounces to Lindsman, and he clears. But the Nordiques have come storming second period. 1-0 Boston, thanks to Riggin. The lead, Lindsman to Crowder. Crowder with Larson trailing is ridden off. And Price takes over. Price forced back by Crowder. Gets it away to Mark Kumpel. Kumpel on Milbury. Deep for Goulet. Shot saved. And the kick out right away by Riggin. A good kick out save. And Milbury is hooked. And a power play for Boston. Delayed call as Goulet is going out. On the puck, Nienhuis off for Courtnall. Up for Peterson. For Casper. And now the call. A hooking call on Goulet, a power play for Boston, and you're watching Bruins hockey from the Colisée in Quebec.
Michel Goulet off at 12:52 right there. He put the hook on Milbury, and Mike went down. Crowd booed. Didn't think it should have been a call, but that's probably a makeup for the call on Foster earlier.
Mahler is able to clear it, and on the power play, Burridge is out with Reed and Facine on the wings. Kelvin and Larson. Larson coming away. It's pass to Telvin is offside. And a break in the action. Let's pause for station identification. Well, we question the wisdom of Butch Goring sending Riggin in the nets. Not that in any way he's not a veteran and a good goaltender, but he had the hot hand in Renford. But it is Riggin, the story. In the second period, there have been 12 shots by the Nordiques, and half of them, maybe more than half, labeled by a team that can score, the Goulets and the Ashtons. 1:42 in the Boston power play, 6:49 left, second period. Shots of 20, Nordiques 17 for Boston. And now the first line power play is out, Bork and Peterson. Lindsman breaking with Simmer. Over the line. Good break here. Shot. Saved by Malarchuk. And the puck taken over by the Nordiques who break 2-on-1. Bork is back. Here comes Gillis. Looking for Cote. Holding. A pass. The shot is wide. Bork played it well. Didn't block it, but made him, Gillis, make an errant play. And back comes Peterson. In front for Lindsman. He can't reach it. And Gillis breaks back out. Again with Price. Filled, and a penalty. Boston going to get a penalty, and that's hustling work by Gillis all the way, although he didn't make the first 2-on-1 payoff, and he is tripped, and the Bruins will lose that power play opportunity. And second period action will continue from the Colisée in a moment. 13:54 the time of the tripping call on Lindsman.
knocked the legs out from under Gillis, so that takes away the Bruin power play.
On the draw, Telvin with it. Around the board, stopped by Silton, and a shot, a kick out, saved by Riggin, with Hunter right there on him. Each team short a man. Another one. Beautiful save by Riggin. Did the splits and got that. And each team short a man, but the Nordiques continue their surge. Hunter keeps it in. Now checked, and back goes Telvin. Hit by Hunter, broken up. Pluzak over there. Ashton. Now Hunter broken up by Telvin this time. And Telvin finally able to clear it up to Burridge. Burridge away on the right wing to Courtnall. One man back. Shaw breaks him up. He falls down. Each team short a man in 10 seconds. Quebec will have a minute power play. Burridge checks. Pass to Ashton. He stopped, but Shaw has it. Breaks over the line. Moves it in. Knocked away by Blum. Shaw, good move. Ashton with it. Holds. Gets it back for Stilton. Misfires that time. But it's kept in by Goulet as Burridge went down. Back for Stilton. Another one. And this one high and wide. Courtnall can't clear it. Bounces behind the net. And a good alert play by Riggin. He ties it up. As Blum gets all entangled behind the net. And we have 38 seconds left on the Nordique power play.
Well, Blum and Goulet, the original participants, but now it looks like a Texas death match in behind the Bruin net. If it's Blum and Goulet, then John will have successfully again taken a key member of the Quebec power play off with him, which may have been John's intent all along.
And we're in the second period with the score of Boston 1 and Quebec nothing.
Well, the roughing calls against both Blum and Goulet. Now watch Blum. Goulet in on Riggin. And Blum said, hey, get away from the goaltender. Now, really, Goulet didn't do anything in retaliation. He was just there looking for a rebound, but the Bruins catch a break as Koharski whistles Blum and Goulet off. Matching roughing calls, 15-16, the time of the penalty, and that's all right for the Bruins, because Goulet, certainly with Peter Stastny out, Goulet becomes the prime figure on the Quebec power play, but now he sits and watches.
Casper and Sauvé. The draw into the corner. Sauvé with it. Pass across, missed by Patrick. And he was briefly open. Puck bounces for Casper. Out to Foster. Foster drops it in the Nordique zone. 20 seconds left on the Nordique power play. 4:23 left in the second period. 1-0 Boston. Casper from Milbury and Nienhuis. But the Nordiques have taken over offensively here. Siltonen for Sauvé. Sauvé checked by Larson. They're on a hooking call. There is none. The puck kept in front. Knocked away from Ashton. Stopped by Siltonen. Siltonen clears it in. Bruins back at full strength. Sauvé checked by Larson. Bruins now get it in front to Bork. Bork breaks it out with Lindsman, who's out. Bork clears it to the Nordique end. Lindsman down with Brown. Lindsman has it. Drops it for Telvin, intercepted. And cleared away by Sauvé. Back goes Simmer. Forechecking Steinberg, #1 draft pick for the Nordiques. We're trying to work it out. Intercepted by Gillis. Steinberg intercepted by Pluzak, and a quick clear. The Nordiques, 13 shots on Pat Riggin, who has been the story in the game as the Bruins lead 1-0. Gillis clearing in. Back is Pluzak. Up the center. Offside, Ken Lindsman.
Just how close were we to nuclear war with the Russians during the Cuban Missile Crisis? Well, watch the Missiles of October Monday night at 8 on the Movie Loft here on WSBK TV 38.
Washington leads Rangers 2-1 second period. Pittsburgh 2-1 over Philadelphia second period. Hartford has just about closed things out. They lead Toronto 4-0. Montreal ahead of Buffalo in the second period 2-1. Here it's 1-0 Boston. 3:10 left. Gillis out with Cote and Steinberg. Only goal, first period, by Casper. Set up by Nienhuis and Milbury. And the second period, Pat Riggin. For a long stretch in the first period, Quebec could do nothing against Riggin, but they made up for it in the second. And he has done everything. The draw to Milbury. For Larson. Cleared out. Center ice, Milbury. Linsman can't set up Crowder. And the Nordiques come back. Gillis. Ooh, right after him was Linsman. All but clocked him. And he forced to pass it by. Now Steinberg up for Gillis. Bruins break it up and clear it out. Crowder trying to move, and he's hit by Steinberg. Milbury breaks up the play. Linsman to Crowder over the line. Simmer open. He tries to drop it to Linsman and intercepted by Eagles. Eagles back. Pass stopped by Larson in the corner. Larson hit it at the side of the net and right in front. Anton Stastny scored. A very careless play by Reed Larson. And easy goal for Anton Stastny as it was dug out from behind the net. When Larson failed to keep control.
Well, the Bruins have been sloppy the entire second period in trying to work the puck out. Here, Reed Larson shoots it out the side of the net. Easy pickings for Anton as he is fed from behind. Eagles will get the puck. Here's Stastny with the bouncing puck, but he still handled it well and was able to slap it in behind Riggin. No chance for Pat to react on that one.
Tied. Bruins trying to come back. They haven't had much offense in this second period. Around the boards, Burridge keeps it in. Trying to move it in front. Can't do it. Cote and Eagles get assists. 1-1. Peterson off for Burridge. Burridge clears it in. And we have 1:45 left in the second period. 1-1 the score. Breaking it up inside the line was Kelvin. But Shaw's back for it. He gets it around to Eagles. And Eagles clears it. Riggin forced to move to prevent Ashton getting it. And Kluzak starts back. Off for Telvin, a bouncing puck. Hard to control. And he loses it to Price. Back now, Anton Stastny with Hunter. Offside at the Boston line. And let's go back to the studio. Sean McDonough, preview of the second intermission.
All right, David Shaw pretty much shook up the last time they were down into the Quebec end. Dave Facine put a heavy hit on the Quebec defenseman, who has really been a force tonight. He has carried the puck and tried to create offense, so we'll keep an eye on whether he returns or not.
Cote comes back with Steinberg again, broken up by Ray Bork, and it's been nearly all Quebec in the second period. Riggin holding them off until the gift goal for Anton Stastny in front, set up by Cote and Eagles. Reed Larson starting out. And a pass to Casper is ruled offside. 51 seconds left in the second period. 1-1 the score. Anton Stastny from Eagles and Cote at 17:45.
Here's the hit for Facine on Shaw. Shaw went hard into the corner. Right there you see him begin to double over a little bit. And he skated slowly off and went immediately to the dressing room. Steve Casper, lone Boston score coming in the first period, is 17th of the year. First in a long while for number 11.
The draw to Ray Bork with 48 seconds left in the period. Off for Courtnall. At center ice, he's broken up by Mahler. Larson starts back. Nienhuis going on Price. Battles him in deep. Good rush by Nienhuis, forcing the play. But it's around the boards. Bork trying to keep it in. Knocks down his man. Puck kept in by Nienhuis. Nienhuis pokes it up deeper. Courtnall going for it, using his weight. Nienhuis. Oh, he's smashed into Price. And the Bruins are getting vigorous play from this line. Courtnall and Nienhuis using their weight heavily. Face off to the right of Malarchuk.
Well, Courtnall and Price had a little conversation and apparently came to terms. They grabbed each other's jerseys and were ready to go. And it gives Koharski a chance to whistle off matching penalties. Gives him a chance to feel like he's useful out there and not hurt either side's playing strength. They really didn't do much over there.
The Bruins are tied. A tide keeps them alive for tomorrow night, but we've got a long way to go, a whole third period. And Montreal leads Buffalo 3-1. If Montreal wins and Boston loses tonight, then the Bruins finish in third and will open at the Forum in Montreal on Wednesday night.
Well, Price went to the penalty box. I don't know if Courtnall knows he got a penalty or not. Yeah. Koharski's looking over to the Bruin bench saying, where's Courtnall? And he didn't get one. Courtnall didn't get a penalty, and apparently Price did. Price got a roughing call at 1943, and Courtnall did not get one. Well, there's a break.
Now they have 17, the number up there, but that's Kumpel. It is Price in the penalty box. And a power play for Boston, and the face-off to the right of Malarchuk as Linsman, Simmer, Crowder, Peterson, Bork set up. Game tied at 1. Gillis and Linsman. And Gillis has given Quebec a lot of lift. His penalty killing was really something the last time. And finally, he was tripped by Linsman. Nullified the Bruins penalty after power play after a minute. That intensity. Puck for Peterson. Back for Bork. Up for Peterson. Good chance. Shot. Save Malarchuk. Beautiful movement by Boston. And at center ice, Bruins controlling it. 6 seconds. Winding up. That'll do it in the period. Peterson takes it. Drops it off for Bork. And Barry Peterson had a superb chance. And Malarchuk made the stop. Stay tuned for our second intermission, featuring a look at how the Bruins trainers prepare the team for the playoffs. Hockey update. We'll look at the playoff picture around the league. Johnny Pearson will review second period highlights. Score at the end of the second period is Boston 1 and Quebec 1.
Let's take a look at the scoring summary for the second period. Just one goal to tell you about. Unfortunately, belongs to the bad guys. Anton Stastny, his 31st of the year. It's 17:45 from Mark Eagles and Elaine Cote. 1-1 is our score at the end of 2. Shots on goal in that period favored Quebec 14-9. 2-period totals 22 for the Nordiques, 19 for the Bruins. We're set for what should be a great third period. Let's go back to Fred and Dave.
We're back at the Colisée, Quebec City, 1-1. The score as we get set to play the final 20 minutes of regulation play. Pat Riggin has played an outstanding game. You know, Fred and I were sitting in the hotel lobby commenting on the genius of Butch Goring and deciding to go with Pat Riggin tonight. Like Butch said, well, hey, look, you make the right play. If the guy plays brilliant, you're a genius. If he doesn't, you're a fool. That's the way he had to look at the decision to play Bill Ranford last Saturday. And, of course, he was second-guessed on his decision to go with Riggin after the rookie had played so well. But Pat has kept the Bruins in it. If they play the second period, the third period like they played the second, they will not come away with a victory tonight. They have to turn it up a notch and get after it. Right now, it's going to go to the team that wants it more, and the Bruins, by virtue of Montreal leading, certainly should be the team here tonight that wants to win more. We're just about set to go. Third period action. Let's turn it over to Fred Cusick.
And a power play for Boston. 1:43 left on the power play. In the penalty box, Pat Price. So the opportunity is there for Boston. And Quebec outshot them in that second period, 14-9. Just some brilliant stops by Riggin to keep them at bay until Anton Stastny scored. And Boston now has a glittering opportunity. And the Bruins, looking at the scoreboard, Montreal, we believe, is ahead 4-1 now. So that's about wrapped up. And a victory there, a loss by the Bruins. And, of course, they wind up in third place. And Boston, I think, should be thinking offense here and banking on Riggin handling anything that reverses and gives Quebec an opportunity. And wanting Pat to stay sharp for the third period. And certainly in no way thinking it's 1-1, and if we skate off at the end of the game at 1-1, we've very much alive for tomorrow. Hartford leading Toronto 6-1, and that's about closed out. So Hartford will be in the playoffs. How they would want to play the game tomorrow is pure speculation. Since they can't advance, they would wind up fourth. They will play Quebec. They will open here on Wednesday night against Quebec.
Well, Fred, I think the Bruin defensemen this period need to start carrying the puck a little bit more. They all, except for Bork, seem to want to give it up and get rid of it as soon as they touch it, and that's caused some problems in the Bruin end.
Well, the big problem is intensity, and Gillis has shown intensity for the Nordiques. Puck over the Nordiques line. Silverman trying to clear, stop by Peterson. He's the left point man. Across for Bork. Bork moves well, fires. Blocked by Malarchuk. Cote can't clear it. Kept in by Lindsman covering for Bork. Into Simmer, jam, save. Oh, Simmer with that goal he scored so many times. And Malarchuk came out big. They have to contend with Malarchuk, too. And they have to regroup. And that's good intensity right at the start. And plenty of heat on as Bork wraps it in. 1:08 left on the power play. Crowder, jam, out of it. Simmer to Peterson. Quick shot, tip, save. Malarchuk with Simmer right there. Crowder in the corner is held off. Puck knocked away. Gillis trying to break. Slowed down by Bork. And Lindsman back to break up Gillis just in time. Good play by Lindsman. Bork for Simmer missed. Will the icing but prevented by Crowder. Shot, the save on Simmer. There is the save of the game right there. A backhander by Simmer in close.
You can't ask a goaltender to do any more than what Clint Malarchuk just did. That is just stealing a goal away from Charlie Simmer. Nice feed out from behind by Crowder, and then Simmer snapped it off at Malarchuk, as he's done so often this season against the Bruins. Gobbled it up. Bruins have come out here on the power play with good pressure on Malarchuk, but still have not been able to put the go-ahead goal in behind him. 42 seconds left to go with the man advantage.
Excellent power play. The best of the night by any team. But Malarchuk, as he has this season, coming up big for Quebec against the Bruins. Eagles and Lindsman. Same setup, which Goring has his #1 power play setup, and Peterson the rover. Now Peterson will draw since Lindsman's waved out. Peterson against Ashton. Peterson should win it. Does. For Bork, left point, the lone man along the blue line. Ashton after him. Moves away. Gets it all the way across to Peterson. Back for Bork. Tipped into Lindsman. In front. It went behind Crowder. Peterson keeps it in for Bork. To Lindsman, the open man. Lindsman back for Bork. Lindsman again. They back off him. Lindsman holding all the way across for Peterson. Tough to handle. And his pass in goes wide. 12 seconds left. Lindsman flips for Bork. Bork's pass in. Deflected high. Fought for. Back at the point. Bork just able to keep it in. Ashton breaks away. Bork in pursuit. And Riggin out to sweep it away to follow up. And Eagles can't get it. Good defensive play in time by Peterson. As they almost broke in with that one. Ashton. Riggin a big play coming out on it. Full strength, Quebec. And Malarchuk held off the Bruins. Nordiques clear it. Racing for a delay. Riggin out of the net. And the pass is missed in front by Patrick. Big break for Boston there. Steal by Foster. Foster over the line. Trying to cut in. Shot. Save Malarchuk. Good move by Foster. Basine is knocked down. Right point, Kelvin keeps it in. Basine. Check. Goulet gets it out to Patrick. Bruin steal. And Foster winding up. Trying to fire it up the boards. It goes into the stands. And it looks like the Bruins are just doing that, cranking up the offense, and there are breakouts for Quebec. With the score of Boston 1, Quebec 1, Bruins hockey will continue in a moment.
Well, I don't know about you. When I see Brent Ashton breaking away, I only think bad things, but Pat Riggin came out nicely to knock the puck off his stick.
Luzak wraps it in for Burridge, knocks it down, keeps it in, checked by Gillis. They fight for it. Foster behind the net. Burridge there. Mahler. Basine moving in. And finally, Price takes over. For Cote. Pass stopped by Kluzak, center ice. Winding up Foster. He's at center because Peterson played on the power play. Foster to Cassine, but Telvin made a good move, goes deep. In front, tipped by Burridge, but wide. Never went near the net. Foster keeps it in with a good hit on Cote. Price gets it out for Cote. Over the line, check, but the puck bounces in. Gillis keeps it in, checked by Courtnall. Gillis swings away from Courtnall. Maneuvers very effectively. Gillis right in front, and it's missed by Steinberg. And Gillis was the story there. He's been their best player. Steinberg a shot tripped on the play. The Bruins will be short a man. Milbury goes out. Power play Quebec. And with the score of Boston 1, Quebec 1, let's pause for this message.
So Trevor Steinberg missed a nice feed, but here he sets up a power play as he's tripped by Mike Milbury. Milbury with the trip at 3:37. David Shaw, the fine young defenseman for the Nordiques, gone to the hospital for x-rays on his left shoulder, so he is out for the night.
Bork trying to clear Dowd. And racing for it, Foster, and Malarchuk just beat him to it. Almost a great chance for Foster, hustling work. And Brown comes back. Can't set up Patrick. Foster breaks it up, battles for it. Flips it to the Nordique zone. Siltanen plays the point on the power play. Foster, Casper, Bork, and Larson. Goulet over the line. Hunter, a shot, a save by Riggin. The rebound of Foster. Another fine stop. Foster for Bork on the move, short-handed. Bork trying to get Larson in, and it's just broken up by Siltanen. He'd have broken in alone on that one, Reed Larson. But back comes Siltanen. Anton Stastny, there's the Nordique score. Broken up by Larson. Larson wraps it around, but Goulet is there to keep it in the Quebec power play. Hunter, broken up by Bork. Trying to clear it, and it bounces for Foster, who rushes with Casper. Over the line, Foster, a backhander, kicked out by Malarchuk. Second time Foster's had a short-handed bid in this game. 48 seconds on the Nordique power play, 1-1. Anton Stastny off for Goulet, get in wide of Riggin. Ashton in, bats it around the boards. Anton in front, shot for Eagles. Eagles set up by Anton Stastny and Ashton, and it's 2-1 Quebec on a power play.
Well, I don't know how Eagles was allowed to stand and set up in the slot, but he was wide open. Watch number 11 right there in the middle of your screen. He'll go right out to the slot and set up. Look at this. He is wide open. He hits it on the fly. There's not much Riggin can do. Bruins a little late checking up on Mike Eagles. And Eagles, who had the winner in overtime in Boston the last time these clubs got together, has the go-ahead goal here at 5:01 on the power play. Mike Eagles.
Not a chance on either goal for Riggin. A power play score for the Nordique. Ashton, Anton Stastny. Anton has figured in both scores. And now Mahler gets it back for Gillis. Gillis clears in, knocked away by Riggin. But Cote keeps it in. Broken up. Onik, Kluzak. Can't set up a play. Ready to be icing. Back for it, Price. The Nordiques lead 2-1.
The Boston Red Sox begin their 1986 season Monday afternoon in Detroit. Be sure to catch all the action as the Sox face the Tigers at 1 right here on WSBK TV 38. Well, the Bruins have to pick it up. They had the power play at the start of the period, and since Quebec killed off that power play, which was a good pressure power play, but failed to produce a score, from Quebec has carried the play, and the Bruins have to start taking chances now, opening it up and trying to move in on Clint Malarchuk. That means the defensemen have to carry the puck a little bit. They're too tentative in their own end.
The draw to Mahler, and he keeps it in. Bork trying to wrap it right out. And Simmer in pursuit of Mahler. Hustles in. Crowder digging for it. Kicked away. Kept in. Crowder from Linsman. Crowder back up after being knocked down, trying to center it. Crowder behind the net. Bork moving in deep. Bruins going all out there, down 2-1. Around the other side, Linsman with it. Linsman Pass in for Crowder. He's checked. Fights for it. Sweeps it in deep. Simmer there. Checked. Battling. Lindsman going for it. Cote finally able to get it. And he ices it. No, they wave off the icing. They started to signal it. Riggin clears it himself. Now it's picked up at center ice. Bruins try to move. Can't. Brown a pass. Stopped. Lindsman can't move with it. And it's 2-1 Quebec. 13:38 left in the third period. Steal by Larson. Over the line. Broken up by Brown. And boy, Larson was almost moving on a 3-on-1 there. Had he connected. Brown, the only man to defend. So some rookies out there for Quebec. And the Bruins should be able to capitalize on that with 13:29 left. 2-1 Quebec. The go-ahead goal scored by Eagles on a power play from Anton Stastny and Ashton. Earlier, second period, Anton Stastny from Eagles and Alain Cote. And the Boston goal, Casper from Milbury and Nienhuis. Casper is out with Courtnall and Nienhuis now. And one of the very best Bruins forwards has been Craig Nienhuis in this game. Nordiques, Eagles, clears it in, broken up by Blum. But Anton, away to Eagles. And Eagles clears it in on Riggin. Riggin shovels it around. Courtnall trying to come out. Can't get a handle, and the Nordiques protecting well that 2-1 lead. Ashton's pass stopped by Milbury. He rushes. Takes a wicked hit from Ashton and a little bit of a stick, too. Ashton right back into center ice. Milbury after him and forces the play offside. 12:46 left, third period, 2-1, the Nordiques.
Ashton and Milbury having words. And now we've got Pat Price wanting to go at somebody, and I guess it's Nienhuis Price wants a piece of. I don't know if we'll get penalties out of this or not. Yep, we are. But Milbury is getting the thumb, and Price is getting the thumb. I don't know if Ashton and Nienhuis are going to go or not. I guess not. Milbury's being walked into the penalty box by Wayne Bonney. We'll wait to see who actually gets the thumb. It's going to be Pat Price. It was Ashton and Milbury who originally got into it. Right here's the initial hit. Ashton, good hit on Milbury. A little stick for good measure. And when they got back into the other end, Ashton and Milbury had words. Price tangled with Nienhuis. Koharski splits the difference. Milbury and Price. Penalties coming at 7:14.
The shots are 26, the Nordiques, and 24 for Boston. And the power play, the difference. Bruins had an excellent power play to start of the third period, but Malarchuk came up big. Kelvin trying to move for Peterson. Cassine. Away to Kruzak. He rushes over the line. Good bid here. Oh, couldn't get it to Peterson in time, but goes behind the net, still with it. Across for Cassine, and Cassine couldn't get it, cutting toward the net. It's down at the Boston end. Riggin sweeps it out. Peterson from Burridge over the line. Peterson with Kruzak. Fires. And it bounces back over the net in front, but no Bruin there to collect. Hunter back. Gets it to the Boston zone. Breaks it. Broken up. Burridge back. Overskates it. And a battle between Hunter and Peterson. No further action. They just got tangled up. Quark looking for Cassine. Cassine held off by Anderson. Defenseman, and broken up. And the Nordiques spirit into the stand for face-off in the Nordique zone. And from the Colisée, the score, Quebec 2 and Boston 1.
Third hop in favor of the Bruins, except the Bees couldn't capitalize. Peterson shoots wide. Look at the thing come back over the net. Right out in front, but there was no one there to bang it back in.
Lindsman, Simmer, and Crowder. Gillis wins the draw. Might be the best Nordique forward in this important game for Boston. Bork gets away from Steinberg, sends Lindsman away. Up to Crowder, over the line. Check, Larson has it. In front, it goes behind Simmer, who is cutting to the net. And Steinberg, the rookie, is out. Offside at the Boston blue line. 11:20 left, third period. The Nordiques in front 2-1, and Montreal in front of Buffalo 3-1. And the Bruins cannot expect much help there.
Well, the Bruins, I think, would settle for a tie tonight gladly, especially in view of the fact that there's 11:20 left to go in regulation, and they're down by 1. A game which they really have not played as anywhere near what they're capable of playing. Second period, not a good one for Boston, and now they're trying to get it cranked back up. Unfortunately, Eagles has put Quebec ahead, and it's not a matter of trying to get the first goal of the period any longer. It's a matter of trying to get the lead back now.
Larson's clear. Simmer trying to prevent icing. Does. Great play. Gets it to Crowder. In front. The shot by Linsman popped over the net. Great play by Simmer. His fork, shot, screen, missed the net. Couple of great chances for Boston there. Goulet ices it. Marvelous work by Simmer. When a man can outskate you like Siltanen, he still beat him to it by taking the right angle.
Yeah, he sure did take the right angle. He kind of hopped around Siltanen and then used his size to get the puck loose. Crowder for Linsman, and watch Linsman, look at that. His stick and Malarchuk's stick hit the puck at the same time. Denny had a little more oomph behind it. That's why it carried over the net. Here's another angle. Oh, that close. All right, maybe that'll pick the Bruins up. Good work by Simmer. Fork whistled one wide through a screen. Face-off coming in the Quebec end. Maybe the Bees now can get a little momentum going. They really haven't been able to carry the play since the first period.
Casper draws. Selvin, quick shot. Wide. Just missed the net. What for in deep and tied up at the back of the net. The face-off is outside. Good quick work by Courtnall. He went banging in on Mahler. And the Bruins have to do that. This line has worked well. Casper has scored the goal. Nienhuis, one of the best Bruins forwards at right wing. Touched her out of RPI. Courtnall wraps it in, and Anderson takes over. Mahler knocked it out. Kluzak played it back in offside. 10:37 left in the third period.
Well, I guess Montreal hasn't scored a fourth goal. Fred's still 3-1 up at the Forum, but on the second Montreal goal, Matt Naslund had an assist. That's 66 on the season. That sets a record now for NHL left wingers, most assists in a season. 66, Matt Naslund.
Butch Goring sends out Peterson, Foster at right wing, and Burridge at left wing. Foster replacing Basine. And he isn't out there to do checking. He's out offensively. And over the line, he knocks it in the corner. Foster going for it. Trying to make the play out of the corner. Good maneuver. Dropped it back. Fork kept it in. Fork a backhander blocked by Price and a quick clear out. That's all Quebec has to do in this situation, of course. Just make quick clears, wait for opportunities. Ashton in deep. Try to center it. Check. Fought for. Fork calls down Anton Stastny. Puck is kept in by Eagles. Ashton. Siltanen. In front. A backhander, a save. The rebound. Ashton, a save. Two big ones by Regan. We may remember those. The biggest on the rebound for Ashton. Boy, he has handled Ashton and Goulet. Back comes Larson, center ice. Beautiful stick handling over the line, straight ahead, and he's blocked. And Foster covers at center ice. Is knocked down, hurt. Ooh, he plays without a helmet. He popped the skate. Oh, it's a penalty coming up. Gillis, I believe, getting a penalty. Koharski signaled. It looked like he got hit in the face, and he plays without a helmet. Foster down on the ice and hurt. And you're watching Bruins hockey from the Colisée.
Looks like a double injury for Dwight Foster. Look at that right knee go out, and then he catches the knee of Gillis in the face. It is the right knee of Dwight Foster that just gave away as Dewey was trying to get back into the play. Not knocked down by anyone. The right leg just gave out. Then Gillis fell over him, and Dwight's going to try to stretch it out. So he will go off, and I would guess head for the clubhouse and have it looked at. And he is headed underneath the stands for the Bruins dressing room. Right there, that right knee just gave out. Well, let's hope it's nothing serious. No penalty on the play. Much to the Bruins' disappointment, but as you saw in the replay, Gillis barely fell over Dwight Foster.
Forgetting this game for the playoffs, the Bruins need Dwight Foster. His penalty killing has been superb. Follow a shot, a save by Regan. Gillis keeps it in with Cote. They battle in the corner. Telvin there. Still a battle. Good Haddock couldn't get it. And a shot wide by Anderson. Other side, Steinberg. And Gillis keep it in. And now the whistle by Kraharsky in the face-off in the Boston zone. And we're 9:04 left. And they list 30 shots for Quebec and 24 for Boston. And they never put up the bid for Linsman in tight. And Malarchuk got his stick on it. And face-off now in the Boston zone.
That's Paul Gillis up against the glass. Wayne Bonney, the linesman, still can't tell who that Bruin is on the bottom of the pile. Barry Peterson. Now we're going to take a look at what may turn out to be the two biggest saves of the night for Pat Riggett if the Bruins could tie this thing up. Anton Stastny. Save number one. Now look at this. Here's Ashton. Pick your spot, right? Wrong. Riggett takes it away. Beautiful work by Pat Riggett. Up way out on Ashton and stuffs it really basically as it came off the blade of the stick. I say we may remember those as his two biggest saves of the night. That's providing the Bruins can come back and gain a tie or win this game. A tie would be just right. It would still allow the Bruins to win tomorrow night and wrap up second place that way.
Larson trying to clear. And Linsman pokes it away. Hit back in by Hunter. Bork winding up. Trying to flip it out. Intercepted Patrick. Hit by Simmer. And Linsman starts it away to Larson. Larson. A shot. Ooh, done Malarchuk. Hit him on the mask. Reed Larson with that cannon from 40 feet. And Malarchuk missed it, but it hit his mask, and he is stunned.
Oh, that is scary. That was a dot that Reed Larson hit, and Malarchuk couldn't get it. And it hit him square on the helmet. He went down like a ton of bricks in the crease. Holy mackerel. Larson hits it as hard, if not the hardest in the league. They have hit that Quebec defenseman's stick on the way in because Malarchuk never even reacted to it. He still had the glove down low. He didn't even begin to bring the glove up. Make you wonder, did that hit a stick? Or that nose of Malarchuk's may be a little bit bigger when the night is over. He's all right. Probably going through the basic line of questioning. What's your name? Who do you play for? I think he just said George Vesna. I'm not sure. Square off the mask.
It is a 2-1 lead. The Boston score in the first period, Casper from Milbury at Nienhuis. Quebec tied it up in the second period at 17:45. Anton Stastny from Eagles and Cote. And the go-ahead goal by Eagles on a power play from Anton Stastny and Ashton at 5:01 of the third period. Shots are listed 30-25 for Quebec. Breaking the action. Let's pause for station identification.
This is TV 38, WSBK-TV, Boston.
Well, Malarchuk, I'm not sure what he wants. Sévigny is the backup goaltender. The both of them are heading for the dressing room. No time for a game of cribbage, guys. Let's get it back out on the ice. He may want a little padding to go over the nose underneath the mask, just in case he catches another one off the face protector. Michel Bergeron. I told you so, right? Pointing out something out on the ice, a little strategy. Sévigny may be coming on to finish up this game in goal.
Dwight Foster is on the Bruins bench, and that is most encouraging. Even if he doesn't play again tonight, it indicates he could be ready for the playoffs. And we'll have a face-off in the Detroit end.
It will be Sévigny, I believe. Yes, Richard Sévigny, former Canadian, coming on to finish up this game in goal. And well, this could be a break. Sévigny coming in ice cold. Malarchuk, who has stoned the Bruins. Almost 5 games to 2 periods plus of outstanding goaltending. The Bruins have an opportunity with the ice-cold Sévigny in the game.
And the draw to Mahler. Mahler able to clear it. Icing. Larson is back. And he went out at 11:20. Malarchuk stunned by a Reed Larson shot. Face off in the Nordiques end. 8:31 left now. And Butch Goring has the Linsman, Crowder, Simmer line with Bork and Larson.
Well, it'll be a good time for this line to start clicking again. They really haven't made much noise tonight. And Sévigny with no warm-ups. It'd be nice to have a good, well-placed shot for the first shot on goal.
Crowder battling hard for it, but Patrick is too. Bork able to keep it in at the line, and now his quick flip goes off Hunter, and Hunter starts jamming as Patrick and Crowder were jamming too. Patrick back up, and Hunter was able to deflect that shot by Bork from the point.
I think Ray would like to have a piece of Dale Hunter, and I can't blame him after catching that stick.
Yeah, but it'd be absolutely pointless to even have the threat of...
You're right. You're right.
No use. Now, Bork needed, and Hunter would just like to provoke him. Third period action will continue from the Colisée in a moment.
Well, you can bet the Nordiques will try to keep the puck away from that man, Richard Sévigny.
The draw is back to Bork. Steinberg after him, and Bork pucks away. Off the Casper, he can't handle it. And Siltonen drives it out to the Boston end. Ooh, missed by Larson. And Riggin had to be ready. Bruins trying to move center ice, can't do it. Steinberg for Gillis. Gillis for Steinberg. A shot, a screen blocked by Riggin. Good save there on Steinberg. And the face-off in the Boston end. 7:51 left, third period. Quebec leading 2-1, and Montreal 4-1 over Buffalo, third period.
Well, the Nordiques opportunistic, waiting for an opportunity to move on offense, and Trevor Steinberg is a good hot prospect for the Nordiques. Gets off a wrist shot. Steinberg has a baby face, but goes 6'1", about 185, 190.
Eagles out against Peterson. Eagles has the go-ahead goal for Quebec on the power play in the third period. Kelvin with Ashton after him. Ooh, Ashton spills it in the corner. Kelvin back up, trying to move it out. Peterson away now for Kluzak. 3-on-2. Kluzak back for Burrish. Doesn't work. And a lead pass for Anton Stastny. Trying to outrace Kelvin. Gets it. Drops it to Mahler. Mahler, I don't know whether it was a shot or a pass. It was a shot. He missed by a mile. And it deflected into the stands. Kluzak led a 3-on-2 for Boston, but no payoff.
Now Gordy opted to pass to his left when Dwight Foster really was the man open coming down the right wing. Almost a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing. I think Gordy may be having second thoughts about the playmaking. When he comes up on that rush, though, A lot of things can happen for the Bruins, and recent history indicates most of them good.
Patrick clears it in. 2-1 Quebec. 7:20 left in the third period. Luzak and Telvin. Way to Linsman. The Crowder over the line. Going deep on Waller. Can't center it. And back to get it, Hunter. He's able to clear it. All the way to Riggin. Has to play it, otherwise might have been icing. Luzak trying to come out. In the center ice, Linsman does. Picking up speed. Going deep on Anderson. Cuts in! Blocked by Sévigny. A hand pass by Hunter to Goulet stops the action. The face-off to the left of Sévigny.
Well, a close call for Ken Lisbon. Just couldn't get all the way around the defense. Tried to center it out in front. There's the pass as Sévigny went down to block it as Charlie Simmer was scooting in to get into position. Sure, Kenny would have liked to have been able to get just a little bit lower and get better position, but could not as the Nordique defenseman held his own fairly nicely. But the Bruins do have the draw in the Quebec zone with 6:46 left to go. We're getting to that point now where face-offs become important.
Eagles wins it for Sévigny. Anton Stastny able to clear it out. Eagles rushing, hit by Casper and broken up. Casper trying to come out. Cut in front of the net. Gets it to Nienhuis, but he's forced to wind up. Good forechecking by Quebec. And Eagles inadvertently clears it to his own. Anderson there fires it right out. Larson controlling. Hooked up at the line. Cleared away. Larson on it again. Flipping it in. Back is Siltonen. He dropped it off for Anderson. Cleared out to the Boston line. And we're under 6 minutes left now, and the Bruins not getting shots on Sévigny, which would be their wish, and that's the way it turns out sometimes. Here's Bork. He may get one. Over the line. Gets by Mahler. In deep. And to drop it in front. Blocked by Gillis, who's been everywhere. Drop for Foster. Foster wheeling in the zone. Back for Larson. The shot wide. Burridge couldn't redeflect it. Missed the net. Bork fires. It's wide. Foster lets it go to Larson. Larson drills it in. Chip. Sévigny save. And Burridge goes barreling in on him. And Gillis comes attacking Burridge. Boy, Randy just went barreling on Sévigny, who had blocked the deflected shot. Burridge had deflected it.
Well, I bet we get penalties out of this altercation. The dude was all over Richard Sévigny. Koharski is going to be whistling penalties. Gillis and Burridge, I believe. Gillis is trying to take Ray Bork with him. But Gillis is in the box.
And only Gillis.
Ooh, there's a huge break for Boston.
Well, that's right. I mean, Burridge hit the goaltender. You don't like to see that. And Gillis was trying to get at Burridge. And so it should be Gillis out. That's it. Too bad he was trying to hit the goaltender.
Similar situation, Fred, earlier in the game with John Blum. Took out Michel Goulet. Yeah, now, all right, you're right, Fred. Burridge checked into the goaltender. Now Gillis going after him. You're right, it's the right call. Except Koharski doesn't like to single out calls like that, as evidenced by the fact that Michel Goulet was draped over Pat Riggin earlier. John Blum came charging into Goulet, and they both went. I thought for sure Koharski would take Burridge out, knowing how he hates to make one call over another, but the Bruins get the power play, and well, now's the time. The iron is hot. Randy Burridge always seems to be in the thick of it. Certainly was that time. Penalty coming at 14:31. So it's now or never, I would say, for the Bruins to have a power play at this juncture with a goaltender in that really hasn't faced any real hard shots just yet.
And a good man out of there, Gillis, who's been a standout. The Eagles has played well, has the go-ahead goal. Peterson trying to break it now with Bork over the line. Bork along the line, moves beautifully. Cross for Peterson in front. Shot, score, Crowder! Keith Crowder, power play goal from Peterson and Bork. And the Bruins tie it up immediately with 5:09 left. The score tied at 2.
Well, the Bruins struck quickly. Not wasting any time. Good passing. Peterson right across in front of Crowder. Just slides it in between Sévigny, Bork to Peterson. To Crowder, camped in the slot. All Crowder did was redirect the pass. And Keith now joins Charlie Simmer as co-leaders. Goal scorers on the team, his 36th of the season. That is a new personal high for him. By the way, the report on Clint Malarchuk, possible broken nose. He has joined David Shaw at the hospital for x-rays.
Raymond Bork is the story of this Boston Bruin team and simply doesn't get enough credit. The maneuver he made in there to keep it away from 2 Quebec Nordiques before he fired the pass to Peterson and then Peterson to Crowder for the score was magnificent. And Mike Ramsey, who's a top defenseman for the Buffalo Sabres, said, they asked him about Coffey and Bork. He said, Coffey offensively, but all-round player, offense and defense. There's the man, Raymond Bork, and what a play he made. I tell you.
Fred, I think Quebec has just been hit with another penalty, a bench penalty. I'm not sure what the call was about.
Probably unsportsmanlike conduct. Somebody yelled at Koharski for...
Michel Bergeron. And he's still yelling. Michel Bergeron. I don't speak French well enough. I can read lips in English, but I can't read them in French. But I know whatever he's saying. I'm sure it isn't kind to Don Koharski.
And they put Goulet in there. And the Bruins have a continuing power play. The game is tied at 2. If Montreal beats Buffalo, and they are 4-2 in the third period, and the Bruins tie, the Bruins, by beating Hartford tomorrow night, could wind up in second place. The score is tied at 2. The shots, 32 Nordiques, 27 for Boston. And a penalty on Boston as Mahler is knocked down. A holding call.
See, Fred, this is what I'm talking about. Koharski doesn't like to put one team or the other at a disadvantage. How long did that take? 2 seconds to call the holding call? Crowder called for holding.
An awful penalty for Keith to take. I don't know what he did. You wouldn't even... Boy, that is the wrong time. With 5:01 left, each team will play a man short. We have no replay on it, but Mahler was knocked down, or grabbed and pulled down.
Well, apparently whatever Michel Bergeron said, it upset Don Koharski enough to nullify the Bruin power play within 7 seconds. 7 seconds it took. So they'll skate 4 aside for 1:53, and then the Nordiques will have the man advantage for 7 seconds.
Hunter and Peterson are waved out. It will be Burridge and Ashton to face off to the left of Riggin. Kept in by Hunter. After him is Burridge. Holds him down. Shot here goes wide. Oh, Burridge grabbed him. It's all over him. The fans yell. Kept in. Hunter trying to get it in front. Couldn't. And Burridge skates it out. Hunter. Oh, look at that. Hunter jab at him. Well, you could have called one in Burridge, and right back there, Hunter just dug that stick into him, checking back on him. Each team short a man. 4:33 left, third period, 2-2. Bruins can take a tie tonight. They would have to win tomorrow. Hunter clears it out, and Bork covers. The Bruins in the last 5 minutes of a game, name a lot of games, have not played that well. Courtnall keeps it in, a wicked hit on Linsman. Courtnall in deep for Bork. Bork wheeling in the zone. A shot. It hit Courtnall. Ooh, that hurt. Courtnall went down. Back up. Lost the puck. Eagle. Away to Ashton. Ashton on Bork. A shot. A save, Riggin. And he clears it out for Courtnall. Breaking alone. His shot knocked wide by Mahler. Each team short a man. Center ice, Kelvin breaks it up. But White Foster. Now wrapped in by Casper. A steal by Foster to Kelvin. Back in front, a shot. Knocked away by Sévigny. Great work by Foster. And Kelvin had the shot. Foster in deep checking. Casper gets it. Casper to Kluzak. The shot blocked. Casper again on it. Knocked away. Foster digs it free in the corner. Checked all the way. Stopped. Cote gets it. Briefly a power play. Rushing Goulet out of the penalty box. That's what they were hoping for. Kluzak knocks it away from Gillis. Gillis back in to get it. Centers it. Knocked away by Kelvin. And Kelvin. Here's Foster getting the penalty. Or it might be Casper. The Bruins are going to be shorthanded with 2:52 left in the third period. We're in the third period with the score of Boston 2 and Quebec 2.
Well, there's Steve Casper, and that's a dive. That looked like John Thomas and Valerie Brumel back in the 60s.
The Boston goal that tied it. Crowder from Bork and Peterson, 14:51. Here's Hunter and Peterson with sticks at the ready. The penalty killers for Butch Corain are Peterson and Burridge with Bork and Larson. Hunter is out. Patrick on the right, Goulet on the left, Brown and Siltonen. The shots 33, Quebec 29, Boston. Burridge wins it for Reed Larson. He clears it. Siltonen winding up for Goulet. Flipped in by Hunter. Back goes Bork, and with that turnaround play that's unique for him, coming at the puck straight, he's able to drill it out. Brown winding up. Deep forechecking by Peterson. Patrick to clear out. The Bruins break it up. But Peterson can't move in. Brown's pass deflects into the penalty box on a face-off call. It is 2:18 left, third period, 1:27 left on Casper's penalty.
Well, we want to remind you that if the Bruins begin the playoffs in Montreal, our next game would be Wednesday night at 7:30 here on WSBK TV 38. If the Bruins start at the Garden, our next game would be next Saturday night at 8 from the Forum.
I believe Hartford beat Toronto 7-1. At any rate, they're in the playoffs with that score. Bork gets away from Ashton. Cuts back again on Sauvé. Clears it up. Not out. Yes, it's out. Peterson just able to clear it by Anderson. Siltonen back for Ashton. Anderson. The quick clear in. Back goes Reed Larson. Oh, he drills it. And it bounces right in front for a shot to save, and the rebound. Oh, save on Goulet, a big one. What a break for Quebec. Back to Siltonen. Across for Anderson. In for Goulet, the shot blocked by Larson. Riggin out of the net. Up for Peterson. Peterson can't clear it. Kept in by Anderson, a shot blocked by Larson. Larson gets it. Clears this one. Oh, what pressure. 1:28 left. 35 seconds on the power play. Siltonen starting now. Lindsman is out. Foster. Here comes Siltonen, moving well over the line. Check. Foster battling. Puck fed in. Kluzak wraps it up. And Foster just digs and works it out. Battles Goulet. Lindsman with it. Oh, he is knocked down. Back comes Kluzak over the line. Trying to drift in, and Sévigny broke up the play. 9 seconds on the power play. 58 seconds left regulation. Gillis center ice. 2-2 to score. Kluzak breaks it up at the line. A big stop there. Lindsman in pursuit of Price. Bruins kill out the penalty. Kelvin. Crowder trying to work it in. Can't. A tie will benefit Boston. Over the line, Cote in deep. Bork around. Simmer tips it out. 29 seconds left, regulation. Bruins killed off the penalty, and the weirdest play of all was Larson drilling it. It took a weird hop off the corner, bounced right out in front of Riggin, and there was Goulet.
Of all people. It's a wonder you couldn't see Pat Riggin's hair come streaking out of his helmet in all different directions. That's nightmare material when you have Goulet in the last 2 minutes all alone in front.
Here it is.
And then Brent Ashton. Let's not forget him, the perennial Bruin killer. Here's Goulet, kick out save it. Here's Ashton. He couldn't get control of the puck, or he had an open net to shoot at.
Puck fed in deep. Back for Telvin. Goulet. Riggin lost it. Puck centered. Batted in the corner. Patrick with it. Behind the net. Trying to swing it in front. Broken up by Peterson. Kept in by Mahler. Blocked. Patrick a shot. Missed the net. Foster back to get it. And he ices it. 2 seconds left. That's it. We'll go to sudden death overtime. A tie, as we said, can be most beneficial for Boston. And the penalty killing was superb, except for that freak hop that gave Goulet a chance, and Riggin was ready. And we're looking for sudden death overtime here in the Colisée with the score. Boston 2 and Quebec 2.
Well, some big saves by Pat Riggin. A big shot by Reed Larson that may have broken the nose of Clint Malarchuk, and the ever-present hustling of Randy Burge all added up to helping the Bruins outscore the Nordiques in the third period 1-0 and force a 2-2 tie, thus overtime coming up. Now, tickets to the first home game of the Adams Division semifinals will be going on sale, or they are on sale at this time. They went on sale yesterday morning at the box office. You can also pick up tickets through the Garden phone charge. Tickets to the first round of the playoffs are priced from $25 to $18.50. If the Bruins finish second, the game will be played on Wednesday night at 7:35. If the Bruins finish third, then the playoffs will open on the road in Montreal. And the first home game would be Game 3, Saturday night, 1 week from tonight, April 12th. For further information, be sure to consult your local radio, TV, or newspaper. And right now, the Bruins have control of their own destiny. They can hold on here for a tie. They'll take it. They'd love to win, but the tie is most important. Because without the tie, Montreal holds on for the 4-2 win over Buffalo. A win tomorrow night would not serve any purpose. But a tie tonight, followed up by a victory over Hartford, would give the Bruins second place in the Adams Division and home ice in at least the opening round. And depending what happens between Hartford and Quebec, they could very well have home ice in the second round if the Whalers were to knock out the Nordiques. We're set to go with sudden death overtime. Here's Fred.
Well, the idea for the Bruins is play for that tie. Not sit in your own end. Over the line comes Hunter to be broken up by Kelvin. Kelvin clears, but it's deflected into the stands, and a face-off is called in the Boston end.
There's Dwight Foster, apparently all right after going down with a scary knee injury. His right leg just buckled and gave way. You know something, Fred? He may have gone across that little patch where they were trying to fix the ice right at the start of this period. It was just about that area. His skate may have caught a rut, and that may have been the problem.
And the face-off now to the right of Riggin. Peterson on the draw with Gillis. Anderson, a shot blocked by Riggin. Mork clears it out. Burridge tips it to the Quebec line. Foster, center ice. Wheeling over the line. Off now for Burridge, can't get it. The follow-up. And it is taken by Gillis. Gillis looking for Eagles. Eagles hit by Larson. The puck drifts in. Backward fork. Locked. Eagles keeps it in. Hit hard by Larson. What for in the corner? Fork jamming it. Face off in the Boston end. 4:19 left.
So far, the only shot on goal in this overtime, a shot on Pat Riggin, with this Quebec club having beaten the Bruins 5 out of 7 so far this season in a tie. You know, they're always sitting there waiting to take advantage of an opportunity. But Riggin handled the shot right off the blocker. And the Bruins will have to try to win this draw to the right of that man, Pat Riggin. He has played himself a fine game tonight after having a rest for a little better than a week while the rookie Bill Ranford took over. There goes ready to go again. Butch Goring decided to make the change despite the hot hand by the rookie, and he has responded well tonight. That should make the coach feel pretty confident in his decision-making as well.
Quebec 34 shots, Boston 29, and now one more for Quebec as they put one on Riggin. He made the block, and Gillis facing with Casper to the right of Riggin. Back for Cote, back for Price, shot, hit the side of the net, and Casper able to clear it away. And Quebec seems to have the Bruins back in their heels at the start of this overtime. Puck deflects into the Boston end. Gillis going for it. Larson beats him to it with that extra effort. Can't clear it out, though. Gillis pass in, trickles wide. With it, Casper. Away to Courtnall. Ridden off and dumped by Price. 3:47 left. Sudden death overtime. 2-2. Bruins will take it at 2-2, but Quebec says, hey, look out. Cote wraps it in. Reed Larson on it. Up for Courtnall. He's checked, and Goulet breaks. Cusack after him. The pass in for Hunter trickles in. Riggin knocks it away. Hunter, Kelvin to the corner. Patrick there. Patrick with it. Pass in front. A backhander wide by Goulet. A centering pass. Rolls for Nienhuis. And he makes the quick clear. Maybe icing. And the pressure is all Quebec here in overtime. 3:13 left. Sudden death overtime. 2-2 the score. Just the one shot so far, but territorially, the Nordiques have been carrying the play. The Bruins, of course, thinking first of the tie, and that gets into your idea mentally. Here's Goulet.
Oh, backhand coming close, hit the side of the net. Well, Pittsburgh's hopes of a playoff spot gone down the tubes. Ilko Sitasalo scored at 1:49 of overtime. Philadelphia came back from being down 2-0 to beat the Penguins in Pittsburgh 4-3 in OT. There's nothing they can do now to try to catch the Rangers, even if New York were to lose tonight. In Washington, that score is 4-4, the Rangers and the Capitals. So tomorrow night's Penguin-Ranger game means nothing.
Hunter and Peterson face off to the right of Riggin. Patrick out with Goulet. The draw won by Boston. Peterson got it to Kelvin, an important face-off. Kelvin clears it down. No icing. Back is Price. Crowder forechecking. He has a power play goal to tie it up. Cusack trying to keep it in at the line. Can't do it. Casper scored in the first period. Late in the second, Anton Stastny tied it up. Early in the third, Eagles a power play. And late in the third, Keith Crowder set up by Peterson and Bork a power play. And it stands at 2-2 with exactly 3 minutes left. The Bruins play Hartford tomorrow, and you have to think of Hartford mentally. The game means nothing to Hartford. It means everything to Boston. So the intensity, Goring shouldn't have to say a word. But
not
first
one
of all,
word.
3 minutes left here at 2-2.
7-1 final. Hartford over Toronto tonight. Boy, they didn't make it very suspenseful, did they?
Bork wraps it in. Lindsman in the forecheck. Crowder, 2. Now Eagle starts it out with Gillis and Cote. Indeed, Bork fighting for it. Now Larson to the corner. And to clear it out. Kept in. Gillis for Cote. In front. It was missed by Eagles, and he was cutting in alone. And Lindsman works it out of the zone. At center ice, he's checked. Bork breaks up Gillis. Back comes Crowder. Simmer over the line. Simmer in deep. Get across for Larson. Larson, quick shot, saves Sévigny. And he hangs on. 2:14 left. And it was close in front of the Boston net for Eagles, but he couldn't handle the pass.
Boy, this is playoff hockey. Bruins trying to hold the fort. Eagles couldn't handle it. I don't know why. Boy, he didn't have his stick on the ice. That was his first problem. Then couldn't kick it ahead. But he was open coming in off the left wing. And the lights were almost turned out on that play. Well, the Nordiques have had the best, actually the only chances here in overtime. 2:14 left to go. Bruins did have a shot on goal, but the pressure has certainly been on Pat Riggin, as most of the play has been at the other end of the rink.
Peterson on the draw. Gets it back. Kelvin. Shot. High block. Foster knocked down in front. Tapping for it. He's out there with Peterson. Nordiques clear, and covering is Cusack. 2 minutes left. Sudden death overtime. A tie. be delightful for Boston. This clear could be icing, but Anton Ashton, a shot. Big save on Ashton by Riggin. And back comes Peterson with Burridge. Crisscrossing. And he can't connect with Burridge. In too deep. Burridge pokes it deeper. Foster bangs in for checkers. He's at right wing. Out comes Price. Pass up. Knocked down by Larson. Can't set up Lindsman. Crowder trying to make a play. 1:27 left. And Pat Riggin drops it off for Ray Bork. Taking his time. Lindsman looking for Crowder. Broken up. Larson knocks it away for Crowder. Cleared into the Nordiques zone. 1:08 left. Siltanen trying to clear it. Big hit. Crowder for Larson. Larson fires in. What a hit Crowder made in the... Kept in Lindsman for Crowder. Shot the save. Sévigny, a big stop. And it's iced by Anton Stastny. The best chance in overtime. Keith Crowder right in and maybe too close on Sévigny. And Sévigny made a big stop. 52 seconds left. Sudden death overtime as Boston had the opportunity.
Oh, boy, these are the best body hits of the night. Crowder. Then Gillis on Simmer. Right at the crease. What a setup, though. Look at this hit Crowder puts on Gillis. Oh, body's flying around with 52 seconds left to go. And they're going to bring the face-off all the way out to center ice. Crowder stood alone right at the corner of the crease. There he is. Sévigny guards the fort. Here comes Simmer looking for the loose puck. There's the hit Gillis puts on Simmer in the crease. So the draw will come just on the Boston side of the red line.
And I have no explanation of why. Nope. I can see a face-off just outside the blue line. Wright Foster is talking with the linesman. 52 seconds left. And Peterson will draw against Gillis. Peterson wins it for Bork. Bork fires it in. Sévigny behind the net, trying to whip it out. Along the board, stopped by Larson, driven back in. Blocked wide by Price. Fired back out. Knocked away, center ice covered by Burridge. Foster battling for it. He plays a very physical game. Right, Foster. And we're down to 30 seconds in sudden death overtime. 2-2 the score.
Montreal has defeated Buffalo by a score of 4-2, so now it's all up to the Bruins. If they can hold on to the tie here, Montreal will have a 1-point lead, but the Bruins can make that up tomorrow night by beating Hartford. A tie will not do the Bruins any good. It would leave them in a tie with Montreal, and Montreal will have more victories and therefore would be awarded second place. So if the Bruins can hold on for the last 30 seconds here and come out with a tie, a victory tomorrow night over Hartford will put them in second and give them home ice in the opening round.
Well, they would need at least a tie tomorrow, as you said earlier. 3 points at least, and they're within range of that. Bork back. Fires it up the boards. Larson on it. Drills it out. Burridge fell down, though. Puck back in the Boston end. Larson with it behind the net. That hard drive doesn't go out. 8 seconds left. Larson. Clears it down. 2-1. It's over. The Bruins gain a tie. And, well, they might salute goaltender Pat Riggin. Simply outstanding tonight. In a move by Butch Goring. I second-guessed him. I first guessed him. Said should continue with the rookie, but Pat Riggin was ready and made some outstanding saves tonight. 36 shots for Quebec and 31 for Boston. So, a pat in the back for Butch Goring, Pat Riggin, and, of course, the rest of the team. And now they are with the opportunity of victory tomorrow, and they could finish in second. The final score, Boston 2, Quebec 2, Bruins hockey will continue in a moment.